girl, you know, and I'm not a photographer, so I don't go around the club taking pictures, you know, like you know how the club photographers go around and take pictures. I don't do that. My thing is that stage. I love that stage where I capture the passion of what they love to do.
Yeah.
That's why back to one of my all-time favorite pictures is of Neil Norris performing at Turntable Club. He had on this orange shirt and this like light blue hat. It was turned backwards. He was sweating, so you could see the sweat in the band, and he was on the mic, and he had this one vein that was just bulging out, and I love that picture. He hates that picture. He was like, look at my hat, I'm all sweaty. I was like, but look at the passion in your face.
Yeah.
Just look at that, like that right there. And I have a picture, like a favorite picture of 3D at Vanity Room. He's standing there, and he's like looking right at me, and then the lights that were behind, like up on the ceiling, they're in beams of green and red, and it's just like the perfect shot. So like I have these like, to me taking pictures of people on stage is art to me.
Yeah.
It's like somebody that's going out to take pictures of like the monuments and the because at Mount Vernon there's like all these different statues and stuff. And my ex is a photographer as well. And one day, that's what we did. We went up Mount Vernon, and the church that's right there where the circle is a green church. I don't know what church is. That's like, I've taken a picture of that, and it's like my favorite all-time picture. People that do that's what they do. I do the stage. Because I love that, grasping that passion.
Yes.
You know, that's why photo shoots are so hard for me, because everything is so staged and stand like this and sit like this. But the best photo shoot that I had was Lady B's daughter, Kayla. She's 11 years old, and she raps. And she, Lady B paid me to do a photo shoot for her. And it was her and her cousins and some, you know, a bunch of little kids. And we just had so much fun. It's very tiresome because there's so many kids. But it was action, you know, they were posing, they were, you know, standing there, like, so that was fun. But just regular photo shoots for me is it's going to be a transition. See, that's what you're talking about, like the next level, like the next
level, yes.
You know?
And I think that when it comes to photo shoots, one of the transferable skills that will serve you well in your new path is interviews and conversations. You have a quality where you can make a person relax just by talking to them. So I know from being on the other end of doing photo shoots, like you said, trying to manufacture a moment is tough for a lot of people. And what you have to do is get people comfortable and don't let them know what photo. So take multiple shots and don't let them know which one is the right one. So it may be we're going to take 50 shots and just play around with things, make it playful, make it fun, play music, and you know, just have them bring a bunch of outfits and costumes, and it's just an experience of which photos are produced, moments are produced based on what they want. So that's what's going to work well for you.
Yeah, like I said, my ex, when he lived in a little like studio apartment in the basement of a house on Calvert Street, and I was doing photo shoots there, and I was using his cameras because he had given me this little Olympus, the little Olympus camera that I was using for years before it broke. And it was just a little square Olympus camera, you know, the lens came out, and it just, you know, nothing real fancy. But everybody's like, oh my God, you take the best pictures. You can buy a $1,500 camera. You can buy a camera that's got all these lenses, got all these filters, you got all these settings. But I can take this little camera, and I can take a picture, and it will turn out a lot better than that $1,500 camera. Because why? Because I love what I do, and it comes and it shows through my pictures.
Yes.
And I can tell when my heart is not in taking pictures. Like I might not have enjoyed the show because of whatever reason,
Sure.
but I'm still taking pictures. But to me, the pictures, because the love that I have for what I do, just like the love that an artist has for what they do being on stage. That's why they give great stage performances, because they love what they're doing. And for me, I was like, we were doing, he had the photo studio, he had the backdrops, he had a green screen, he had, I was using the Pentax, which I love that camera. That was like, when I gave that camera back to him when I stopped dealing, like, because I just wanted to be, at this time we had been exes for a while, and I just wanted to be business partners.
That's difficult.
You know, I just wanted to be business partners. I said, look, I'm not comfortable doing photo shoots. So I was taking pictures, and then he was taking pictures at the same time. So you had two cameras on you. And I did a photo shoot for, it was called 100 Proof, which is Rico Hopes and Talal. So I did a photo shoot, and Kevin was doing a photo shoot too. So, I was trying to learn from him because he went to school for photography. So he's like, well, just read the manual. No, I can comprehend very well.
Yes.
But if you show me the different settings and explain to me, then it's going to help me a lot better, because I can always go back and refer to the manual, but you've already told me. So I did a couple photo shoots or whatever with him, and then he didn't understand the whole just business partners. And I said, you know what, I'm done. Just take the cameras, you can do, I don't need it anymore, I'm done. And I had to walk away from it. And because I was trying to get myself acclimated into doing photo shoots, because it's not something that, it's like you went from being an artist, and so then you had to transform into doing something else, and so you're like, okay, well, let me do this, and you're trying to do it slowly, and it's really not something that you're really into just yet. And so that's where I was at. And now that I'm here and we have a space for doing photo shoots, and I just bought 4 new backgrounds, backdrops. So I'm trying to get myself together and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I can set my prices and get my schedule together with Fox and because he said he's here. So it's just been all of like a process for me to go to that next step. And that's like some artists. I've asked him, like I said, with DOG, I talked to him, and he was like, he's not in the music, but somebody like he'll be a silent partner, with like for a studio or something. He'll keep his hand in there a little bit, but he's just completely. He said, when I was done, I was done. And I was like, I feel like that some days. I feel like walking away from all the photography, going to the shows. Because, I am older. I've been older than everybody else since day one. But, just walking away, he was like, you're not going to walk away. He said, you're not ready to walk away. He said, when you're ready to walk away, you'll know. He said, but right now, you're not ready. So, but I'm trying to go to that next level. And I've watched other artists do the same thing. Ogun, for example. Ogun went from being an artist to then he was an engineer. I watched him engineer, record people at ARS, and he's been a spokesperson for the scene, and he's gotten away from doing the music. I wish he would do some more music because he's a very talented artist, but I understand where he's coming from as far as getting into that next level.
It's very important. First of all, thank you, those of you in Facebook Live land who are tuning in. If you need, if you're away from Facebook for whatever reason, you can go to youtube.com/Baltimore Paparazzi. Paparazzi is spelled with 2 Z's, ZZI. So definitely when we're talking about transition, many of us, we start out in going in the direction of our passion. But when we follow our passion without structure, we tend to spend more time, spend more energy, spend more money than we need to get to the destination we want. And we also factor in that when your destination is not defined, you can end up in a totally different place than where you set out to be.
Right.
Passion can be like a wild horse that you try to put a saddle on and ride, and it can lead you in a ton of different directions, some of which you don't want. So if you've been building something based on passion alone, and you end up at a certain destination, for example, and you start to look at things, you get a little bit wiser, get a little bit more seasoned, and you say, okay, what now? Sometimes when the illusion is the covers are pulled away and you see the truth about the situation. I spent 10 years doing this particular venture and it didn't make me the money. I spent more time, I burnt relationships, and you look and you think, well, I can step away from this, but that passion is part of our DNA. When you're a creator, when you're an innovator, when you're a person who's a connector, that part of your personality, especially once you start to express that through different ventures, that never goes away. And the sooner you understand that and embrace that, the better off you will be. So, it's like a disease of the mind. It's a disorder of the mind, being a creator or entrepreneur or somebody who creates different ventures. We see visions in our head that no one else can see.
Right.
And it drives us so crazy. It's a voice that's talking to us. And we have to go, it's so strong that we have to go out into the world and make it happen. We have to invest money that we may or may not have. We have to quit jobs. We have to have a job and stay up late when we need to be asleep. And make all these things. We have to travel to other cities and states in order to find this voice in our head. So it's important to understand that the entrepreneur's DNA, the side hustle DNA, the person who creates the media outlet DNA, that never changes. That never ever changes. It's part of who you are. So as I mentioned before, if you're going to, before you think about transitioning, and this is not just for you, it's for everybody who's listening. If you're going to think about transitioning, first think about how can you build the longevity of your platform by bringing on fresh new talent, new interns, or people who fill specific positions within the organization to keep it moving forward and going to that next level. That's really important in terms of before you step away, because when the time's invested, if you have the right team and the right people involved, it can turn into a whole new wave of excitement for a new generation. So.
Yeah, and like I said, like I've been listening, like I said, people have asked me before about, you need to train somebody, you need to expand, so you can have people, go to these different events since, you can't get there. Because with me taking this part-time job I'm supposed to be working 4 days a week, and I was working 5 days a week, going to physical therapy on the other 2 days, so I was exhausted and tired. I hadn't worked in 5 years.
Sure.
The only job I had was going to shows. So, and what did that consist of? Me going at 9, 10 o'clock to a show, it'd be over between 1:30, 2 o'clock, go home, go to sleep, and I didn't have to do nothing the next day except go through the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures that I took. So now, and like I said, you're not the first person to say this about bringing somebody else on, and eventually, I think if I continue, if I was to continue to do the whole Baltimore paparazzi thing, I probably would end up doing that. Finding somebody who has the same passion for. I'm not even gonna say photography. I've been taking pictures of things since I had my first camera. I love taking pictures. I don't like taking pictures of myself, but I like taking pictures of everything else. And if I could find somebody who has a love for taking pictures, but also has a love for this music scene. Because, like I said, to me, that's why, I have people, oh, let me see your pictures, it's so wonderful. And I'm like, no, because you see this right here? Like, I'm my worst critic.
Of course.
I am my worst critic. I'd be like, no, I don't like this picture. No, like, this is not. And then, like, I'm with my new camera that I got last year or this year. I don't even remember now. I think I might have got it this year. But it's a whole new level to things because I was trying to learn the different, different settings for it and using it without, taking pictures without the flash and, trying to learn all this stuff. And and the pictures are coming out like, I'm looking at some of the pictures and I'm like, wow, this looks like some of the pictures that I see like professional photographers at like the games, show or, somebody in the industry. So that gave me back my passion even more to want to do it even more. Mm-hmm. I get frustrated just like anybody else does with taking pictures or the scene or whatever. We all have things that we have in our life that like I said, some days I just want to walk away from all this because it can be so frustrating. Because I guess because I'm like I said, I'm like everybody's mother. I want everybody to succeed, and I want everybody to take that next step forward, and and I'm pushing for this, and I'm pushing for that, and it's like I'm pushing, and I'm trying to create new avenues for them to showcase their music, to showcase their videos, and it's like I'm the only one doing it. So I get frustrated. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to walk away. And then something happens. Somebody says
right
something.
Back in.
And yeah, every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's all because of the love that I have for this music scene and the people that are in it.
Yeah.
Shaka Pitts is another one of those that has done so much for this scene. Like, people don't even realize, I don't think, that the things that he has done. Mm-hmm. That Blog Talk radio show that he had back in 2007. If it was not for that radio show, mm-hmm. I wouldn't know anybody's music like I did. I wouldn't have known people's names. Yes. Like, I wouldn't have been familiar with half as many people as I was because he played the music. He, showcased people. He, and it was like, okay, now I'm getting to know who this voice is, and I'm getting to hear this name, and okay, and then when I started going to shows, I could put faces.
Connect the dots.
Yeah, and that's like when I started with the whole taking pictures. I took pictures of everybody because I didn't know anybody. Mm-hmm. And that's just been my thing, and that's why, like, I don't feel, sometimes it might sound cocky, but I don't feel that any other photographer is my competition. Mm-hmm. Because nobody does what I do, and that is take pictures from the very first artist to the very last artist. Mm-hmm. Very rarely do I leave a show before it's over with. I feel bad if I leave early, but sometimes it's inevitable because if I'm riding with somebody, then it's enough,
Of course.
But I'm in my own lane, and that's why I don't, like, when past couple of years I haven't won Photographer of the Year. I don't care. I've won the award. Mm-hmm. Jay McGraw said it. We were in here, and I was like, I won the award. I've already got that award. He was like, you got it 3 times, Lisa. I was like, well, yeah, but I won that award. I set out to win that award. I got that award. Cool. I don't care who wins it after me. I don't, I was happy that Ruben Green won it the past 2 years because he's a phenomenal photographer. But his work is different than my work. Mm-hmm. So, that's my whole thing with, like, what I do. And when I get frustrated with the scenes, because I want so much for these people to be recognized and be like stars. I watched stars be on the stage at Black Hole and 5 Seasons and Bourbon Street and everywhere, and now he was on stage with Tech Nine and hanging out with Tech Nine and Strange Music. He's on these big stages with thousands and thousands and thousands of people who were rocking with him. A girl got his logo tattooed on her, like,
impact.
So that made me happy.
Yes.
That Stars achieved what he set out to do. So now I'm ready for the next artist to step up
Next
and
generation.
and do that. So I'm hoping that people will have listened tonight. I'm hoping that they're watching, or they will watch, and they'll get some more knowledge, and they will actually maybe even hit you up and say, hey, can I ask you some questions? How can I come to your workshop? How can I do this? And how much do you charge for this? Because nothing in life is free.
No, and the thing is, nothing is more expensive than that which you receive for free. You know, you get what you pay for, and oftentimes when you pay less trying to get a deal, you often end up paying more because the quality
Right.
and the maintenance behind it is not built for longevity.
Right.
So as far as how, I guess, artists can get in touch with me, number one, the easiest way is through Facebook. And I surely will be tagged in this interview, but you can find me on Facebook. Also, you can email me directly at hello, HELLO, at mrshadi.com. That is MRSHAD like David, EED like David.com. And different ways that we can work together are as follows. Number one, if you have a general question, you reach out to me on Facebook, I'll give you an honest answer. Now, if you have a specific scenario and you need to just sit down and get it done, I need to put together my email campaign and my social media campaign. In 2017, I have a number of basically get it done workshops where we sit down in person, we have a goal, and you have a support staff of experts, of people who do this, what we're attempting to achieve each and every day, and those will have like limited seating for those. And also, if you just need overall, so be on the lookout for that. If you email me, I'll provide you with the schedule for that throughout 2017. And if you have questions or just overall need clarity on your mission, your mindset, and your mastery of it, then we have the Vision to Results coaching program, which is a group coaching program where I'm able to work with a larger group of people. There's video modules, so on and so forth. There's different worksheets where you can sit down and get very clear on your mindset and go into 2017 with the right approach for your music, for your brand, for your business, and really structure things the right way. So even if you have a part-time job and you have a full-time passion for music, everything will be structured so that you can record and earn money while you sleep through publishing and other ventures. You have your brand consistent so that when you post something online and you meet somebody in person, they say, oh, that's you. Mm-hmm. And you know how valuable that can be. And also, the most important thing is we get away from the mindset of, please, label master, come and save me from my misery, and start to build sponsorships and partnerships. I build sponsorships and partnerships every day of my life, and for different music ventures as well as traditional business ventures. And also, if you need to structure your company the right way, like I said, I am a mentor that represents the Small Business Administration, so I help actual business people build actual businesses all the time. So music is a business, entertainment is a business. We can talk about what expenses you need to be writing off, whether it is studio time, whatever the case may be, and how that equates to your overall tax strategy, and do this whole business thing for real. So exactly. So there's a number of ways to get in touch, to connect, to work with me, but just know that I'm invested in your success. And anytime you have a question for me, like I said, the easiest way is just to go through Facebook and I always have a honest answer for you.
Oh, well, thank you. You're gonna need to email me the calendar for 2017, and that way I can keep people up to date through my, through Bottom Paparazzi.
You're a photographer, so you gotta be there.
Oh well, yeah. I like the last one. We had a wonderful time. It was a lot of wonderful people stood up there and talked.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it. It was the best year ever workshop. So if I ask the question like, okay, listener out there, either Facebook Live land or in YouTube land, what is your insurance policy for your New Year's resolutions? Like, what is your guarantee that you're going to achieve your New Year's resolutions? Most people say, well, should I do that? I have no idea. I never thought of that. So what the best year ever workshop was and is, because it's an annual thing, is basically sitting down and structuring your entire year from A to Z and putting together the best lineup of people, of experts to do this. So at the time, Dave Anderson, who this year was on the Breakfast Club, and he's a 3-time best-selling author. At the time, he wasn't 3 times yet, but
now he is.
Now he's 3 times, So 3-time best-selling author, Mr. Dave Anderson, came all the way from Philadelphia to bless the audience with his branding talk. And we also had Danielle Berger, who is Maryland's only certified Russian kettlebell instructor. I got all that out. And she talked about the benefits of how she went from a mother of 2 to, superwoman through kettlebells and health and wellness, so on and so forth. And I also talked about the cost of unhappiness in your work and how being unhappy at work can literally take away years from your life. And when you start to look at the habits you develop and the sadness and all the different things that start to happen as a result of just being unhappy where you work, we spoke about all that. And most importantly, one of the activities that we brought home for the workshop is that we created vision boards. So I had a bunch of arts and crafts there. I had big white cardboard or poster board and different magazines and scissors and glue and tape, and you would put together your vision board to outline your 2017. This year's best year ever will also come accompanied with an online course, which will include Vision Board Mastery, which will have video modules to teach you how to put together your different vision boards and the different types of vision boards that you can have. Some smaller that you can take with you and keep at work, for example. Others larger that you can frame up, but I'm going to cover that in great detail. One of the ideas that I have is to take the best year ever workshop on the road and do a little tour.
Oh, okay.
So hit a few cities, but everything that I do always starts with Baltimore, USA first, because I like the idea of having people who are important come to the city and break bread with the local businesses and the movers and shakers and find out more about what this city has to offer. I believe that it's a great city, and I will always maintain a residence here no matter where my travels may take me. So it's important to, if you're going to be based somewhere, make it part of your overall operations.
And that event was, I really liked that workshop. I mean, I didn't do a vision board because I was taking pictures and all, like,
Working.
And I was, you about ready? Are you about ready?
Almost.
Okay. But we got one of Big Steve's show tonight.
Big Steve, not Little Steve.
He's not, according to my daughter, he's not Big Steve. He's just Steve.
He's just Steven now.
But seeing that just goes on. See, I'm gonna tell you, when I started my job in May, I hadn't been to any shows.
Mm-hmm.
My very first show that I went to was Steve's show because Steve has shown me so much love.
Yeah.
So I show love. I show love to the whole scene, but like I said, I do have my favorites. and I show a lot of love to people who show me a lot of love back.
Of course.
But that workshop, like it was just so, and to see her up there talking about these kettlebells, because I had no idea what a kettlebell was. But then I started seeing, after that I started seeing more and more about kettlebells. So I was like, well, once I get myself straight, maybe I'll be able to do that too, because like it was just phenomenal to me. And then like I've been trying to write a book for years. And I actually sat down last night and started piecing, because I have different pieces written. And I started last night kind of trying to start piecing things together so it kind of like flow.
Yeah.
So like I said, him talking about, you know, because did he say that how did he get published at first? Did he go to a publisher and get himself published, or did he do it himself? I can't remember.
He started off with a publishing situation. Then he learned why it made sense to do it on his own. And since then, he's off to the races.
Yeah, that's why I was like, because I was like, well, because I don't know anything. Like I had this thought in my head about this book that I wanted to write. It's, you know, it's just a fictional thing, but you know, it's like it incorporates some things that happened in my life, because that's just like music. Music comes from people's personal lives. So like this book has been in my head, and I was like, when he was talking, I was like, well, I don't even have to go through like trying to get it published through somebody. I can, you know, learn how to publish it myself and go that route. And so, like I said, I was paying attention while I was taking pictures that day.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think a lot of people can really, you know, learn from your workshops. And like I said, I think anybody that watches this video or even listening to this show this evening has learned a lot of different things.
So let me give another bona fide strategy for my artists especially. So as we know, if you're an artist, I know it's popular nowadays to say you don't write. I know it just magically comes to you in the studio. I get it. You punch in, I get it. But for those of you who write, who have lyrics on napkins, lyrics on, you know, printer paper, lyrics in notebooks, here's what you can do. Here's a free strategy that will make an additional income stream for you. You take those lyrics and you put it together in Microsoft Word, and take let's say your top 5 songs. You just list out the lyrics to it, and then you write what you were going through that led to, you know, that verse or that song, and just the background circumstances, and you call it your book of rhymes, or your top 5 songs. You know, slap a logo on it, slap the cover on it, and publish it on Nook, which is Barnes & Noble platform, and also Amazon Kindle. It's all free of charge. And you can also go to createspace.com, which is a company owned by Amazon, and print out or publish the print version. So then you're a published author.
Wow.
Here's a secret for you. Aside from producing a movie, being an author is the highest form of credibility that you can have. I don't care if you're a business person, if you're an artist, if you're a movie star. It's the highest form of credibility. So what happens? Once you're a published author and you're an artist, opportunities start to come up for you to speak. So then you start to get the opportunities to do the panels and so on and so forth. So in your conversation on social media, you throw out the book title, you create a hashtag for it, create a whole movement for it, like Lisa did with In the Spotlight, you know, concert series, radio, but you do that with the book. You also release a mixtape in support of the book project, and you bundle it all together. Black Friday's coming up. You can sell more sales by offering a discount of that. Ladies and gentlemen, Facebook Live and YouTube land, does that make sense? Your lyrics are something that are already written. You already did it. You already know how you felt when you did it. So do it, publish it, and reach out to me and let me know how those royalty checks are doing for you.
You just gave me a big idea because my ex photographer, he wanted to do a coffee table book with me, where I would take my writings on one side and his photo on the other side, and that's what he wanted us to do.
Hold on, let me step in there for a second. Again, X, if you're out there listening, no disrespect to you, it's all good. But for you specifically, you have, like we said with the top 8 example, you take your top 10 photos that you've ever done and you print them. You put them on a Microsoft Word document. There are free templates that exist. It's a Google search away, and you can say Kindle Publishing Template, and it'll be a Word document that's formatted the way that it needs to be. You take your 10 photos, so you take page 1, here's the photo, and then you write like the caption. This is the event, this is how it felt, the energy in the building, you just write that, and you move on to the next one. 10.
And that's what was just coming to my head.
Slap a cover on it, and you put it out there. Here's what's going to happen. Here's the magic of this. The magic of photography is that people love to see themselves. It's a vanity thing. It's just human nature. So the people who are in the top 10 are going to promote the book for you, Lisa.
Right.
They're in it.
Especially 3D, because one of my favorite pictures is of 3D.
So
you know what I'm talking about? The one that I talked about it earlier.
And on the Amazon page, because they're in the book, they will be in the credits as well. So it creates opportunities for them to go out and publish because they'll be in the game as well. And you personally can put together a mixtape consisting of the artists who are in the top 10 photos. And
I got some homework to do now. He don't know, he just created a monster with this because I had already thought about like the pictures or whatever, and let's see, now you done made it possible that I'm going to be able to actually go that way. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate this because I'm out of work for another 6 months.
You got time to work.
Yeah.
This is the work you got. This is the work. What you do during the day is what's necessary to pay the bills.
Right. That's
not your work. What excites you to wake up in the morning, what keeps you from going to bed at night, that's your work. It's important for everybody who's listening to this broadcast to tap into your passion. Your passion is what you were born to do. You may be at a job right now, you may be sitting in somebody's office, behind somebody's cash register, and you may hate it. But there's no shame in doing what you need to do at the moment to pay your bills. I would rather you pay your bills than to beg somebody or to wait for this check to come in, or if you gotta work to pay your bills, bless you. Now, it's time to cash in on your passion. And your passion is what, like I said, what wakes you up in the morning, what you think about when you're at that job that you hate. It's like, I'd rather be doing this, or you're on your phone, promoting that. That itself is what you need to bring to the forefront of your priorities. And you may only have from, let's say, you get home, you walk the dog, you kiss the kids, and you make them dinner. You may only have from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. to work on it. But you know what? The time that you spent focused on what your passion is, that's going to form a snowball effect.
Right.
And that snowball effect will get you to the next level. There's so many businesses that were started in garages and were built during that 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. window. So we all have the same 24 hours, whether you're Beyonce, whether you're Oprah, whether you're Jay-Z, or whoever you may be. So it's all about the people who succeed are like, this is my passion and this is what I want to do. Some of us are willing to risk it all for it. I'm not saying for you to do that. I'm saying for you to use the time that you have available to you and repackage what you already have and get to work. Get to work.
Well, I thank you because it's like 9:25. I just looked down at the car. I said, really? Oh my goodness, we just been talking and talking. I didn't play no music or nothing. I told you this was not even an interview. It was just going to be a conversation between two friends. So, again, I thank you so much for coming through and blessing me with some knowledge and blessing with some techniques to do. And I'm hoping that these artists really follow through with the things, the tools that you've given them, because that's what it is. You've given them some tools. They're so loud. So the tools that you've given them, because this is a lot of information that I don't think they've been given.
Yes.
And like I said, that's one reason why I was like, when you said that you wanted to come on the show, I was like, yes, this is going to be awesome.
Thank you.
Because, like I said, I already knew that you had the knowledge of the branding, and like I didn't even know your complete resume. Like that, I was just like impressive. Like,
no one
wow.
knows what I do. It's like,
wow.
What I do is not important. It's the impact. It's about making generational impact, and my goal with appearing on this show and my overall platform is to empower our hip-hop community to start thinking of themselves as not just artists or producers or photographers, but influencers. Mm-hmm. You know, with elections and things that go on, and we don't have to go deep into that, but to be able to say to your audience, this is what we need to do, or if there's not enough healthy options in the neighborhood, say we need to start this fresh food co-op and have the resources and power to do that. That's what the next generation, those who I came up with, that's the next direction that we're going in, and that's my underlying agenda for it.
Okay, well, I thank you so much. Give everybody your information again as far as how to get in contact with you, on Facebook, your email.
Yes, email me directly at hello@mrshadid.com. That is MRSHAD like David, EED like David.com. You can reach out to me on Facebook at Shadid Eleazer. Twitter is at Mr. Shadid. That's MRSHADEED. Pretty much everything, YouTube, Instagram is Mr. Shadid. But reach out to me directly with your questions, with your comments, concerns. We're going to open up the door to Vision to Results, which is the Mission Mindset and Mastery Coaching Program. And we'll get your ventures, your ideas on the right track to success, to monetization, earning coins, and building influence and authority on a whole new level.
All right. Well, I hope that everybody takes all these words. He's crazy. Takes all these words and all this knowledge into consideration. And like I said, I hope y'all reach out to him. If you didn't get all his information, you can always hit me up on Facebook. So here we go. On Facebook, Bottom Paparazzi. You know, if you on my regular page, which is Lizo Stan, I can actually do like I always do, which is direct traffic. Make those connections. Like I said, he's giving me some knowledge and some things to think about tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna look into all that, because I think that's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful idea, both on the top 10 on my webpage and making a book.
You imagine if we just had a radio interview. You imagine how many ideas I come up with. That's why my friends love me, because at happy hours, I'm giving out all this.
He was sitting here just like all of a sudden he was like, okay, now everything's flowing. It's just like, and I'm just watching him like all this knowledge is coming out. That's why, like I said, when I said something about doing interviews, and he said, he was like, I'll come.
He
was like,
yeah,
that's a little blueprint right there, right?
I'm telling you, he's got the blueprint. So, thank you again, Shadid, for coming out. And like I said, next year with the workshops, you already know, you need me, I'm there.
Okay.
Next week, on the 26th, I will have my Pit Fights family in here. Not sure who else coming. I had asked Enough Said to come through and talk about, you know, the Pit Fights and everything. He was an admin at one time, but I think he has resigned that post, but he's still Pit Fights. Bar Cardi, Lil Al, and Rittens. Lil Al and Rittens are going to be in a tag team battle against 2 other opponents. Bar Cardi's got a battle. I'm not sure exactly. I think my young son Rebel is coming through. He's going up for the title of King of the Pit. He's going up against O-Dub, who won last Deathness. So Deathness, yeah, Deathness.
I was a sponsor.
Deathness 5 is December the 18th, which is going to be held at Club Depot. December 10th, we've got the Golden Crown Awards. It's going to be at the Impact Hub on North Avenue. I'm not sure about December the 3rd for my show. I was supposed to be going to West Virginia to cover comp at a show. But
DMV tours.
Good,
yeah.
go.
So,
Good.
shut up. Then on the 17th, I've got listed Bishop, Champ, and Damian Poole, who's also DP. So, I mean, I'm trying to fill up my calendar. I've got people on the side, written on the side of my list here that want to be interviewed. I'm being asked for interviews. I feel important. So, I will see y'all next week from 7 to whenever, because I never stop at 9 o'clock anymore. We always get talking. So, I appreciate everybody listening and tuning in on YouTube, everybody that's tuning in on Shadid's Facebook Live. Appreciate y'all. So we'll see you next week, and I'm gonna sign out with my man Neil Norris, one of his songs off his single, his solo album, which was Going Insane in the Crazy World?
Crazy World, yeah.
This was one of my favorite songs because I asked him if it was about me. Too Many Messages.
Right.
One of my favorite songs. Like, I know, we got to go.
What's up, brother? Might need to get with you, man, to get down. Get some
I'm
things
telling
done,
you,
brother.
I wish you were in here listening to like all the information that he was giving because it was just phenomenal.
Get some done, chop up when you get a chance, man. What's up, bro?
That's my notes.
Yeah, I was going to sit down the more. Yeah, let me look over these. I'm going to look over them motherfuckers.
So we can put it together for you specifically.
That's fine.
For what you doing.
What do you charge for the time?